Welcome to the 31 Nights of Macoween. Every night during the month of October, I will review a scary movie. Come and join if you dare.
All employees, whoever has killed the most people will be allowed to live.
We are not going to entertain killing people.
This isn't the time for timidity. That was hardcore, bro.
The Belko Experiment, rated R, in theaters, March 17th.
The Belko Experiment is a 2016 American horror thriller film directed by Greg McLean and written by James Gunn, who also produced the film with Peter Safran. It stars John Gallagher Jr., Tony Goldwyn, Adria Arjona, John C. McKinley, Melanie Diaz, Josh Brenner, and Michael Rooker. The film follows 80 Americans working abroad for a company named Belko Industries in Bogota, Colombia. One day after they arrive at work, they are locked inside the building, and a mysterious voice announces they have to start killing each other. So going back to 2017, I was so excited to watch this movie. When I first saw the trailer for the film, I immediately saw the trailer and thought it was a perfect blend of Battle Royale and Office Space, and I was all for it. After watching the film recently for the 5th time, I came to a concrete conclusion on the Belko Experiment. It's okay. It's not a terrible film by any means. It's just okay. All of the amount of wasted potential in this film is just heartbreaking to me. Starting off with the plot, it's okay, but suffers from inconsistent writing done by Greg McLean. So I mentioned earlier that James Gunn wrote this movie, but he did the screenplay for it, and this was originally, his movie idea. But at the time, he was working on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, so he couldn't make the movie. So Greg McLean, who did Wolf Creek, came on and he made some tweaks to the script, and it changed with his directions. And I feel like that I'll get to it later, but the styles clash a lot between McLean and Gunn, but it leaves a lot with the writing. It leaves a lot of the issues unresolved, and the half-ass attempts to resolve them are done poorly for the plot. So a lot of plot holes in this movie. Next up is the acting, which I feel is the strongest part of the entire film. It's not like Academy Award-winning acting, but it's a fine for this type of film. It's not like trying to reinvent the wheel. They have great performances for this type of roles in this movie. I thought that was awesome. Tony Goldwyn and John Gallagher Jr.'s performances, I thought they were the best ones in the film. They really gave a lot of character in this film. When you can have an overabundance of characters and a lot of characters we don't even get to know about. So I thought that was good. And the last thing I want to discuss in this film, like I said earlier, would be the tone. I've always thought as long as you have a consistent tone for your film, it'll make it less confusing to watch it as a viewer. But for the Belko Experiment, that isn't the case because, McLean took Gunn's script and just directed it in like his dark way, kind of like very dark. Because there's some scenes where you could tell Gunn wrote it to be like his style of black humor, but the way McLean did it, it was just seemed like it was very too serious. It took the content too seriously, and it's just not good execution from McLean. Like, if Gunn directed it, it maybe would have been a little better, but I don't know. McLean's direction just made the film very inconsistent with his tone, because it could be lighthearted, dark, and like serious to back to lighthearted, and it was tonal whiplash. That's what it was. The Belko Experiment was released March 17th, 2017 on a budget of $5 million. After its run at the box office, it will go on to gross $11.1 million. Overall, The Belko Experiment is a fine film with better direction and a tighter script. I feel that this film would move into the tier of good, maybe even great. Luckily, I believe that this film will become a cult classic hit down the road. I'm going to give The Belko Experiment a 5.5 out of 10.